Oh, yes. Now it says it is.
Ah, yes, it is. But you guys, you know me. I really, really need to see my face first on my phone before. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Are you live?
Oh,
Oh,
Christina.
yes. I can hear you. Oh, I hear you live, or I see you live, little the icon.
So, hi guys. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. And this is another Tuesday, another episode of the Truth Runners talk show. And I'm really, really happy and really excited because I have with me Clarice. And actually, I think this is the first time where we are streaming live on my personal profile. So I would love you guys to give us a big likes or loves or whatever you want, just to let us know that you are here and watching. Hi, Therese, and thank you very much for joining me today. I know there is a big time, we are in different time zones, and I really appreciate that you accepted my invitation.
Oh, for sure. No, thank you for having me on. And, just like what you do, it's like it's all about adding value to others, right? So I'm excited. I'm excited, especially knowing the type of work that you do as a success coach and helping people live their life with love and light. I always say that's your favorite saying, right? With
Yeah, I
love.
love that.
Yes. Oh,
Thank you.
Teshwanda is on here. Hi, she's from my group. Hi, I'm glad you're watching.
Hi, guys. For those who don't know Clarice yet, however, I'm sure many of you do because she's a really, really, really amazing girl. I would love to introduce you to her in a couple of words, and then we take it from there. So she's a fitness coach, as you might know, and a success mentor. But she loves to define herself as an impactor or giver. I love that, Clarice, about you, honestly. She stepped into the fitness industry as a personal trainer, and now she transforms people's lives through their health and fitness, bringing holistic elements in her coaching and training, which is rare. So thank you for that.
Sure.
Clarice was able to help clients to lose weight, adopt healthier eating habits, achieve a new fitness goal, build a fitter, stronger body, and redefine their confidence and believe in themselves. Being a former competitive dancer for 10 years, she really values teaching technical foundation in movements and proper body mechanics. Also, being a former national fitness competitor 3 years, she believes in challenging her clients to work hard and sculpt her bodies and push for the results they desire. Like
There's the flex.
well, currently, her fitness coaching has expanded globally across countries like Australia, Finland, Italy, Africa, and Caribbean, and so much more. In her training and coaching, Clarice uses an exclusive methodology. I want to talk about that though, called the Fierce Woman DNA methodology English. She trains both men and women, but focused largely on helping women. She had been awarded Top Trainer Awards and recently been awarded the Coaching Impact Award by the Online Trainers Federation. Oh, wow. My English is not the best this evening, but that's amazing, amazing, amazing what you achieved throughout the years, really, Clarice. So, kudos to you.
Thank you. And I just want to say though, like I always believe it's not nobody gets there by themselves. It's through a lot of people's help, having amazing coaches and mentors. And I always give credit back to all the people who helped me, right? So it's no man is an island. We do it all because there's other people helping us. So thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And you are so right because I say every coach needs a coach. So, as we grow, we want something different. We are looking for something different, for something more. So that I'm looking for that coach who can bring me there and so on. So I'm coaching, but I am the coachee as well. So it's always like this is how we grow really.
Yes.
I would love to ask you, Clarice, just for a start, how did you get in the fitness industry?
Yeah. It's a really interesting transition because actually I think I shared with you I am a former school teacher, and I since I was little I always said I love kids. I wanted to be a teacher since I was 6. So I went into education and came out to become an elementary school teacher. And I loved the kids, I loved teaching. And, the only thing I found in the school system was, I couldn't make the changes that I really want. It was always like very systemized, and there's certain, like, you have to always test the kids, and I just found that there wasn't a lot of support. And I just found myself kind of feeling burnt out. And I eventually left the teaching industry. Um, at first, to actually go after my professional dance career. That was something I really, really wanted to do. And you guys know, if you follow my profile, I love dancing. But originally I was hoping to go into pro dance, to then start a dance school, still in the elements of like teaching and whatnot. But that ended up falling apart, and I was supposed to go to Italy, didn't end up happening. So I came back into Edmonton here in Canada. And I think I was at a juncture at that point of like, what should I do? Because I don't really want to necessarily go back to teaching in the school. But I love movement, and I love teaching people to move and express themselves. So I was at a gym working out, and I was actually like watching a trainer train someone. And I was like, oh, that would be great. I could teach someone, I could move all day, because people who know me say you have so much energy all the time, like. And so I thought that would be a great combination to combine my passion for teaching and movement, and to start to train people. So that's kind of how I started into the industry first. But then I met my he was a pro trainer, so he trains trainers, and he actually encouraged me to compete. And I had just come out of dance competitions, so I felt like I wasn't ready to give up competition. So that's why I was like, yes, I'm going to take this challenge, let's be fierce. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. And once I got into the fitness competitive world, then things kind of spun faster for me, just because now I started to learn like nutrition and a different level and competitive level like training, and kind of fell in love with the whole idea of making yourself the fittest self, and putting in the hours of work to sculpt the best you, because that's what I saw in the competitive world, and my coach helped me with that. And then that's eventually how it kind of evolved into a lot of the coaching I do today, which is sculpting a lot of fierce bodies, so so
I'm really, really loving that, especially that you are using a lot the fears and the way how you combine, the dance,
yes.
dance, you've been a competitive
Yeah, compared.
dancer,
Yeah.
okay? And then you got into the fitness. So what does for you mean, what it means achieving your fittest self, really? How do
Yeah.
you do that? Because, some people, oh, I should go to the gym kind of stuff, but I really never get there. Or they are doing, yes, they train, but somehow they don't really see the results, or not the results what they would really love to have. So what exactly does it mean when you say like achieving your fittest self, really?
Yeah, and it's interesting because I see there's 6 people watching now. I got some hearts, so I like interacting with the audience. So hi, if you're on here. But I guess like it first starts with like how you define your fittest self, because everyone has a different definition of your fittest self. And um, everyone has different goals in their life. But for me, I feel like to achieve your fittest self is to achieve what you desire in your heart, that you believe is the best version of yourself, is the best version, the full potential. And one of the greatest things I love about being a coach is that a lot of people underestimate what they can do. And they may say like, oh no, like I can never do a pull-up, because women, it's so hard to do a pull-up. I'm like, you can do a pull-up, let me just train you, and to help them defy their limits, because it really empowers women. And I know you're a huge proponent of empowering women. And I feel like when you help them achieve their fiercest self or their best version, it's helping them like overcome their doubts and fears and limitations they put on themselves, and then help them get to that next level, right? And I say that because I experienced that so much in my own life, of like in competitive dance or competitive fitness, is like the things I never thought I could do, I eventually could do. And the amount of self-confidence and belief it built in me was incredible. So when I talk about helping women achieve their fiercest self, it's like helping them overcome what they think they can't, and then achieve the best version of what they desire in their life. And so, yeah, that's basically what I mean.
There are a lot of things. Oh my God, I love it. And there are a lot of things that actually came in my mind as you were talking, because you were talking about, overcoming their limiting beliefs and fears. And I think as a success coach, you are working on this side. And then, that mindset,
Mhm.
overcoming what is fear exactly, really. So this is something what, just they are working around what is fear, what are the limiting beliefs, and you put that in the fitness. And there are two things what just caught my ear, and I was like, okay, um, we were talking about trainers and
Yeah.
coaches. Now you know, personal trainers here and there, and then fitness coach. Okay, now what's the difference between a personal trainer and a fitness coach?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
how
that's
would you define yourself? In which category? Let's put it this way.
Yeah, it's a really good question, because I was a personal trainer for probably 7, 8 years in the gyms. So some of my closest clients, like Oshone, who also is in the Fierce Woman community, I trained her for about 5 years. Like, she knew me as like a personal trainer, and I'm in the gyms, I'm pushing you, you're getting the crazy intense workouts, and just it's awesome, right? You're pushing them in the workout. But as a personal trainer, I just see you once or twice a week, maybe 3 times a week, but in that 1 hour, right? But I don't see you for the other 23 hours of your life, or the other 7 days of the week, or 5 days of the week if you train 2, 3 times, right? And what I found is, I think I shared this a while back in my community, but that is, I found there was a big difference between the ones who I trained for competition and the ones who were just like regular clients coming to see me for workouts as a personal trainer. All the ones who were competing for competitions, their results were just amazing, and the fat percentage loss and the sculpting of their bodies. And whereas the ones who came to me just for the workouts, they got stronger. You could tell they have muscle, but they didn't have a whole lot of change in their like body composition, in like the percentage fat or the muscle base of their body. So like they have more muscle, but not really a whole lot of change, if that makes sense. And over the years, I started realizing, well, what's the difference between the two? First, you could say, of course, the competitors are very committed. That's number one. But the second thing is that for competitors, I looked at everything, because I had to. I looked at their food, their nutrition, their lifestyle, their water, their habits, because as a competitor, I needed to make sure like everything was dialed in, right? And whereas for the individual who was just coming to train for one session, I wasn't able to see what they were doing on the weekends. On the weekends they party, and there's suddenly 4,000 calories that enter their food, and no matter how hard I push them on a Monday or Tuesday, and it's crazy, the crazy workouts, still their bodies wouldn't change. And hi Lisa, nice to see you. She's from my group too. Awesome. um, but yeah, like their bodies wouldn't change. And so what was interesting is that I a little bit of my story is I came online, as because of COVID, because for a long time, I didn't want to come online. I was like, no, I'm going to be just an in-person trainer, because I love people. And that I love people. I love interacting with people. But COVID forced me to come on here, because it was either make a choice to kind of leave the industry or go find something else, or make a choice to come online and impact people. And so it's like, you know what, I'm going to make a choice to come online, build my business online, and help more women and more people. But coming online and then taking, as you know, a lot of different course loads and different things to become an online fitness coach, one thing I realized is that when I became a fitness coach, the online process and having an app and being able to talk with the person like every day or in the apps, tracking their metrics, tracking their nutrition, tracking even their workouts more consistently throughout the weeks. I realized, oh my goodness, these women were achieving phenomenal results and almost exactly like my competitors. And I started to put the two and two together. I was like, this is the missing piece. The missing piece is, as a trainer, just seeing you once a week or twice a week, I could give you the hardest workout. I can work you like crazy, but it didn't make the difference that it did when I became a fitness coach online. And the fitness coach online was that I watched what you did in your nutrition. I could provide the small tweaks and the things that you might not even know about what you're doing wrong. And a large population that I coach now in the Fierce Woman community are in their premenopause or menopause, and most of them struggle with the belly. And they, no matter what they do, they cannot get rid of it. And like if I was a trainer in the gym, I train you hard, but I wouldn't know half this information, you know? And so I started realizing like a fitness coach is much more holistic in their approach, and I can dial much more to your true lifestyle and what's going on. And it's much more customized to truly what you need. Because, if you just come to see me once or twice a week, I'll give you a hard workout, but I don't know what happened during the week to adapt it. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
And and
absolutely.
and if someone had a crazy stressful week and they went through lots of stress, the last thing you want to do is put that person through an intensely stressful workout, because that would spike their cortisol and it's going to make all their hormones go wild. Now, usually a personal trainer doesn't have that type of insight like a fitness coach does with that, with the structure and programming of like apps and online coaching, right? So that's the big difference. You can tell I'm passionate about it because I see the difference in results in the women I coach, right? So yeah.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Hi, Nicole. Hi, guys. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments, and Clarice, going to answer you the best she can in the time what we have. There were a lot of info what you just gave us right now, and you were touched based on, not just on the workout, but you said about nutrition, about food. Is
Mhm.
food really important? And what would you advise food wise, when you start to work and sculpt your body really? And then you were talking about your community and about the Fierce Woman community. I love the name of your community.
The Fierce
I
Woman community.
love it. How did they come? And it's really, really huge. So you have a really huge community. Um, how did it all started? Yes, I know we went online, and I can relate so much to your story when you said, no, 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 I don't want to go online. I don't want to talk to a camera. But in the end of the day, you're not talking to a camera because you're still one on one with that person. Okay, maybe not right there in front of you, but the same thing you can do online.
Yes.
So can you just touch base a little bit on nutrition, why food is important, and what do you recommend, water intake, workouts, and then get into the group, to the Fierce Woman, the whole
Yeah,
bunch
yeah,
of
there's a
things.
lot there. Yeah, for sure. So those, I see a couple people in here. Hi, Lisa, Lisa White and Lisa Pelter.
Hi,
Um,
you guys.
they know my take on this. So it's funny when you ask, is nutrition important or is food important? They're probably all like, oh my gosh, Clarice is going to say 120% yes, that's because 70% of your results come from nutrition, right? And that's kind of why I said just being a trainer in the gym is only going to give you about 30% of the results. And so, yes, nutrition is 100% important, and you have to know what's going in your body. And I always talk about this. You need three things. You need to know quality of food, like what's going in the body. Is it inflaming your body? Like what is the contents of the food, quantity of food, what is your caloric count, but also macros, because the more precise you can be, the more precise your body composition can be, right? And then timing of food, and you know, when you eat and how often you eat, all of that. And so the nutrition portion of it will determine a lot about your metabolism, because at the end of the day, it comes down to your metabolism being fired at the right rate so that you have a high enough metabolism to be able to burn fat but build muscle. Now, you don't want too high, like some people can never gain weight. You want to have the right amount. Yeah, Christina, you're so tiny. I've seen your pictures. So, but yeah, like it's like you want to have it at the right rate, and you have to then fuel your metabolism accordingly with the right nutrition, right? And I speak about this a lot. There's no cookie cutter version. It's like if I see Claire on here. Oh, hi, Claire. If Claire has a certain amount of nutrition or caloric counts or macros she needs, it's very different from Lisa on here right now. They're two different people. And if they both go to a calculator that says generically, this is how tall you are, and this is how much you weigh, this is what you are, you're going to get very generic results. And that's why I am very particular about, like, it has to be individual to you. It has to be individual to you, right? And so nutrition is 100% super important. And then you said you want to
I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry for cutting you out. It's really rude. I don't really do that, but
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Claire just said Clarice knows her stuff. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Claire. That's why I invited Clarice today.
Claire is in my Fierce Factor formula. So that's my group coaching program. She's learning so much. And I have to just comment, Claire is eating more food than she used to eat. And she's like, I'm so full. And she goes, but how am I still losing weight? Am I correct, Claire? I was like, there is a method to the madness.
Wow, I love this. And I love that you mentioned that. And well done, Claire. I eat a lot. Trust me, I do eat a lot. I'm still tiny. And this is something, but actually I would love to ask Clarice, how comes that when someone, for example, starts to train, they start to eat much more than before, yet they do not gain weight, right? Or they start, to eat less, but at the same time gain weight. I think it all goes to metabolism and stuff like that, but you are the expert on that.
Yeah. So it's very common. I appreciate you asking. So what if you start working out, you eat more and you don't gain weight? Or if you go the opposite way, you kind of want to lose weight and you eat less, but you gain weight, or you don't even like what's going on, right? You're not achieving your results. So a lot of that is, again, not fully understanding where you should sit in your caloric count and macros. Obviously, if somebody has a high metabolism, you're going to need a lot more calories, but not just calories. Like, what is the content of your calories? So if we say 1600 calories, 1600 calories of carbs, or 1600 calories of proper distribution of protein, carbs, and fat, which I always talk about this. This is very important because I talk about protein being the building blocks of your body, like the bricks. And my community knows this. I feel like a broken record for them, but it's like the bricks of your body. And then if the bricks are there, but no one builds it, the bricks don't get built into a house. So you need carbs, which are the workers, right? That builds the house. And then you need healthy fat to be the electricity that runs through the building. So you need all three, because let's just say you go, I need to gain weight. So I'm going to just eat tons and tons and tons of carbs. Well, you have lots of workers around your body, like no bricks, like what's going on? They're not going to build the muscle in your body, right? So, and I'm just giving you an analogy. Obviously, usually it's not that extreme, but a lot of people are not understanding their balance of like calories, macros. And it's not as simple as just like, this is my weight and height, and this is the calories. Like I always say, there's so much more in there. And I also say, so one more thing I want to add in is, if someone was like going the other way, they're like, I want to lose weight, I want to lean out, and I'm going to stop eating or eat less.
Yeah.
That's also may not be the right way, because if you have a damaged metabolism, if you go below your basal metabolism, you're now going to go into, I know Claire, Lisa, you guys all know this, you guys go into storage mode, which we call signal number 3 in your body. If you activate signal number 3, good luck. You can eat. I've trained so many women at 7, 8, they're eating on their own, like before they came to see me, 700, 800 calories, which is crazy. But a lot of women eat like that because they're afraid to gain weight, but they have excess body fat. They cannot move the weight because they are not, they're signaling now signal number 3, which is storage mode, right? And so when it comes to your question, I think one thing I want people to understand and hear is it's not so simple that it's a one answer solution. When it comes to people's bodies, there's multiple facets you have to consider, which is like your, not only your lifestyle, but like also how much stress you have, you know, how much sleep you have. I know we were laughing about this earlier, but yes, how much sleep you have, how hard you work out, what kinds of workouts are you getting in? Are you doing HIIT workouts? Are you doing cardio workouts? Are you doing weight training? So one thing I have a little bit, I hope people listen to this, is they often want to look for this like band-aid solution. Okay, tell me what's the solution so I can gain weight or I can lose weight. And there's no one band-aid solution. You have to look at multiple factors. And that is why I always say coaching is often needed, because then this person goes and like tries to buy these fat burner pills, or tries to like starve themselves, or do these kinds of crazy solutions trying to hit one factor, when in fact there's multiple factors to why you're the way that you are. And that's why I'm very passionate about like, if you want the full results, you have to look at multiple factors to get the most precise you know, outcome for your body, like that, like lean sculpted look, that fierceness. You have to consider many factors together. So yeah, hopefully I answered your question.
Yes, you did, and thank you so much. So, guys, if you are watching and you were struggling, like in, losing weight or gaining weight, and in the meantime, you would love to, build or sculpt your body, as Clarice would say, I know, and I know that Clarice, she's really, someone here said that she really knows her stuff. So, yeah, she really so.
I'm laughing though here, sorry, that Claire, she says, how much soda you have? So, because Claire was in my program, and we were talking about how to cut back on the soda, right? So, but like even that, right? Like it's like, if you inflame your body, you'll stall your metabolism. So that's not even caloric count. Whether it's caloric count or not, you created an inflammation response in your body. Now we have bigger issues at play. It's not even just calories anymore, right? So sorry, I cut you off. Sorry, I had to comment on Claire's.
No, it's okay. Thank you so much. Guys, if you have questions, I'm going to repeat myself again and again. Just please put them in the comments. If you have comments, yes, they are welcome. I love that. It's awesome. I know your methodology is called Fierce Woman DNA methodology. English.
Yeah.
But I said it right. So would you mind sharing a little bit? How did you come up with this methodology? What is it? Okay, how you use it on your clients. I think this is the one what you actually get the results, what they really want, really. So can you just share a little bit what exactly is the methodology and how you developed it? If that's the right question.
Sure. And also I just want to comment that you're amazing because you speak 5 languages. 5?
I do speak 3 fluently and 3 more basic medium level. Yeah, so 6.
Okay. Yes. So you know what? It's amazing. Like if I tried to do an interview in Chinese, I don't even know how that would go. So you're amazing. But yeah, in terms of the Fierce Women DNA methodology. So how I came up with it honestly was kind of what I shared with you, of like having so much experience in being a personal trainer in the competitive realm and then coming online. I started to see, because I didn't actually develop the DNA kind of methodology until about 5, 6 months after I created the Fierce Woman community, because it was through coaching a lot of these women that I was like, okay, there has to be these key elements to ensure success for these women. And so that's kind of first how I created it. Now, the Fierce Woman DNA methodology, I'll kind of briefly talk about it. It's not anything like surprising in terms of what I already said earlier, but it puts it together in a structure, right? So for the D, it stands for do it right, do it hard, and do it in your mind. Now that specifically is referring to the lifting portion of, or the workout portion of, of your fitness, meaning you do need to exercise. You need to do it right in the sense of technically you need to execute moves properly. As a trainer and as a coach, I see so many times women do not execute their moves properly and they never hit their glutes. Like women always want the glute. Lisa, are you on here? She always calls, she's getting the Canadian butt lift, the CBL, the Canadian butt lifts. But, if they don't even activate and have proper alignment in their back, know how to extend backwards into their glutes, they're not going to really hit their glute properly. So do it right, do it hard, making sure they work out hard enough. The intensity level is there, which again, a lot of women don't hit that point until I work with them, that they like, oh, it needs to be this hard, right?
So
So
you are like, I'm sorry for cutting you, but you are like, come on, you can do it. One more push up, kind of.
pretty much, I would say, like, if
And
I'm
then they are
there.
sweating and they can't breathe anymore and they don't know where they are, but you are still like, come on, one more. I know
Yeah,
myself.
I would say that the last few reps are incredibly important. They're the biggest gainers for you. So a lot of people give up too early. So that's why I talk about do it hard in your mind, and then do it with your mind. So mind body connection is incredibly important. You could be holding a 10-pound weight and get better results than someone who's holding a 20-pound weight, depending on how well you know how to execute that move. So that is, the training methodology of, like, more from my personal training side of when I was in the gym and really understand competing at the levels that I did. That D has to be there. And a lot of people don't have maybe the right methodology there or the right programming. So I often talk about, like a lot of times people will either do too much cardio or too much hit is high intensity interval training, and so it kind of spikes their cortisol level. Now, if there's guys on here watching this, they're like, wait, hit is
Yes,
supposed to
they
be
are.
good. What are you talking about? It's going to boost my human growth hormone. It's going to boost. Yeah, absolutely. It is awesome. But here is exactly what I'm going to say is, depends on your age group too. A lot of these women who have big bellies or inflammation, changing hormonal profiles in menopause, that's not exactly the same recommendation I would give. And this is where, again, the specific factors really matter. A 20-year-old, give them HIIT. They're going to go crazy on that. Yeah. They look shredded after doing HIIT for 2 weeks, because, it's a totally different profiling. But yeah, in the D, it's like a lot of times people don't have the right combination of exercise and the way it's programmed and the understanding of, like, specific to your body, what do you need, right? So D is one, then N is nutrition, just like I talked about. N is nutrition, which is 70% of your results. And again, so this is where, for me, with my clients, I would work on the quality, the quantity, and timing, just like I mentioned before. And this is really, really important that people understand their macros and their caloric counts. Can you get away without actually calculating macros? Because I get asked this a lot, and other fitness gurus will probably like say yes. And I will also say yes, if they want a more general result. So it depends on what you want. Do you remember I said at the very beginning, depends on what your goals are.
Yeah.
So if someone says, I just want to generally be healthy, I just want to generally just be, just leaner, they could get away without macros. But if they're like, I want to be fierce, I want to be sculpted, I want to look like that model on the whatever magazine, you'd be hard pressed to find not doing to that level of detail. So it just depends. Again, it depends on your goal. So in nutrition wise, though, I really believe in like looking at all those elements at that level of detail, right? And then A stands for accountability and systems, which I know you'll love as a coach, because we know as coaches that without accountability or proper systems to track, there's no way we can know where they are, first of all, and no way we will know how to tweak what we need to tweak to be able to further refine the results, right? So the tracking, the accountability, the systems of knowing how to analyze results is actually one of the biggest things I love about being an online coach, because like my app and the things that I use to track, we can get so precise in what we need to do. And a lot of people are missing that. They just go by the weight scale. And those who are watching, oh, I see lots of comments. Lisa has said Clarice butt lift there. And Lisa says, that's why I asked for macros. Yes, Lisa, you were asking about that earlier. But the accountability and systems allow me to be just more precise with what I need to do. And I was saying earlier that a lot of people say, okay, I just feel heavier, or my weight scale is like, it didn't move in 2 weeks, so nothing is working, right? But weight is one of your most inaccurate metrics to go by, right? Because 70%, 60 to 70%, 65% of your body is water, right? So water weighs a lot, depending where it's distributed. Are you dehydrated? Are you hydrated? Is your hormones making you just have more water in your body? And so weight is so inaccurate. And so you have to have proper systems to track other things and have a very systemized approach to building and refining your fittest and fiercest body. Again, maybe when I talk about the results, I'm looking to get you to your most precise results. I guess that's kind of the type of coach I am. I really want precision in your body. So yeah, so that's the Fierce Woman DNA. And I will say we're going to be adding one more element to it, but we can't fully release this. But I did say it in my group that we're going to start to have one more element in the Fierce Woman DNA that is looking at chronological age versus biological age. And so chronological age is what you are on birth certificate, like how old you are, but really inside your body, inside your cells and your DNA and all of that, how old is those cells, and at a biological level, somebody could be 30 years old, but because maybe they don't take care of themselves, and many factors that we'll eventually touch on in my group, is their bodies are actually functioning at a 50-year-old, or somebody could be maybe 50-year-old and they're taking such good care of themselves and the proper nutrition, the proper workouts, the proper lifestyle habits, and maybe their cells are actually functioning at 30 something, and so we do have a special mechanism, and it was actually tested by doctors and scientists. So we're actually super excited about this. I did talk about this in my group, and we're not releasing it just yet, but yeah. But we're definitely going to help women turn back the clock a little bit. So
Wow, thank you. I love your passion. I love, how you explain everything. And going back, I'm all about mindset and really about accountability and stuff like that. And what I say, your DNA, it really starts with the mindset first. You said knowing what do you really want to gain, either A or B version, knowing where do you want to be, give yourself time frame. I think I'm working on timing as well. So because you cannot have a really properly sculpted body, let's say in 3 months, but can
Yeah.
you? especially when you, oh, depending where do you start. Okay,
Depends where you start.
where you
Correct. Yeah.
start.
But it does usually
Right.
take a little bit longer than that for sure. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. So it's really, really about mindset. And one thing I've learned, first thing when I started training, was that, everything in sport, in every kind of sport, really, or fitness or whatever, 80% it's won by the mind, and only 20%, the body. So really, it's very important, the mindset of your client, of the person who would love to change, has got that fierce body, really.
Exactly.
But there are
Extremely.
some
Yeah.
sorry,
Yeah.
but there are some common mistakes what people usually do when, oh yeah, I'm going to, let's just say example, I'm going to Clarice and she's going to start with a really nice body, and she's going to make you look awesome. But there are three common mistakes what people usually do when it comes to their health and fitness and wellness goals, on when they're building muscles. Can you identify, so which are the three most common, let's put it this way,
Mistakes that people
mistakes?
make when they
Yeah.
want to get a sculpted body. Is that what you're asking? Yeah. I have a lot. I'm like, okay, choose three.
Okay, then tell me a couple.
Yeah, no, definitely. I definitely will. So the first thing I will say, I said it earlier, is a lot of women, I don't know if anybody on here identifies Lisa and two Lisas here, and then Claire and all of that. Also, Lisa, I see your question. How do I figure that out? Yeah, Lisa, so that training I sent you in your private message, that will go through a general, but again, I'll say it again, you cannot identify your macro breakdown in just like one sitting, one conversation, because there's too many factors involved. And if somebody says, oh, you're this, then they're guessing, right? And that's actually not accurate. So Lisa, make sure you review the training that was sent in your message there. So in terms of common mistakes, so the first thing is not eating enough. A lot of women do not eat enough. I will say, like, I've been training for 10 years, but as a coach here online for the last few years, and I commonly see women eating 700, 800, 900, 1,000 calories, and like they're like, 1,000's a lot, or 1,100's a lot. I'm like, what? That's not a lot. It's below your metabolic rate. Or no, so like, because, as most women would tell me, but it's counter intuitive. I mean, if I eat more, it means I gain weight. And I'm like, no, that's just what you're thinking, right? And I get that, but at the same time, when you eat below your basal metabolic rate, like I said, you will be in starvation mode, and your body is holding, stockpiling for you, right? And it's not going to release for you. So I find so many women are so afraid to eat, and so that's the one of the biggest mistakes. Now, another one is, I'll call it yo-yo dieting, or jumping around on fitness fads. So so a lot of women, they go from one thing to the next, and they like, oh, this is the newest thing, try this, or I heard this, like, we need to do the keto, or we need to do whatever they're saying.
No.
And yeah, and this, and they're jumping all over the place. um and one thing I said it in one of my lives is that it's not that some of them are, but some of them do have some legitimacy, like intermittent fasting and different things like that. But the problem with jumping all over the place is like not understanding that you need to find the one that actually works for your body. And not, it's like we're trying to, again, find this magic solution, one thing solves all, and there isn't one thing solves all, right? And as well, a lot of people don't take the time to really get proper coaching from experts to learn it right. I'll give you an example. I've met many women doing intermittent fasting, and they do it really wrong, and they are completely killing their metabolism and they can't lose weight. They've stalled their metabolism. And I understand there are some benefits to intermittent fasting. There can be great things, but you must do it right. And this is the thing, is a lot of people shortchange themselves the coaching. They don't take time or invest a little bit in a coach to actually learn the proper methodology behind it, to actually really go, okay, is the methodology here truly going to be right for my body, and why? Based on what factors? Like I said, if someone has massive amounts of belly fat, this is done in a lot of science journals, massive amounts of belly fat. If you intermittent fast, you can actually kill out because it's already so inflammatory and it's like your metabolism is stalling, and then you further fast on it, it could make it worse. Now, if you do it right, if you maybe do it in a certain way, if a coach knows how to guide you, you could probably get some good gains if they understand how to help you do it in a maybe not like shorter term period of time of like fasting, so that it doesn't kill your metabolism because you have high levels of inflammation in your body. Like again, the factors are surrounding it is so complex. But again, people are looking at top layer knowledge and they don't allow themselves to go deeper and spend time, work with a coach, get the right knowledge to fully understand, is this right for them? And then they end up doing this. I'll try this for 1 month or 2 months. It doesn't work. I'm going to jump over here. It doesn't work. I'm going to jump over here. And then now it further messes up their metabolism. Right. So, and I'll say this, the same thing applies to workouts. Yeah. Food and nutrition is massive, but same thing. I see people jump around all the time. This move, this move, this move, this move. I want to try this program, this program, this program. And they don't stick with a systematic approach. Systematic approach. When you think about really amazing top athletes, Olympic athletes, they train a very systematic approach to their goal. And if you jump around, then you're a jack of all trades and, like you're expert at none. I rather be an expert at something and know it really well and be super precise. And so that's another thing, is a lot of people yo-yo all over the place without taking the time, investing time and finances to really learn it. Why do we go to school? Why do we go to university? Why do we go to college? We invest to learn, to help ourselves become better, right? So that's the second part. And the third one I'll say is a common mistake is a lot of people don't have systems. I said this earlier, DNA methodology. They don't have systems, they don't track, they don't fully understand what's happening in their body. And they base a lot of their decisions on emotions. They base a lot of their decisions on emotions, and they go, I feel bloated or feel fatter, or I feel like nothing's happening in my body. But one of my mentors always says, winners are trackers. Winners are trackers. You track, you make sure you know what's going on so that you can make the right decisions to know how to navigate and tweak the right things along the way, right? So yeah, those are three biggest ones. There's more, but we'll kind of keep it at that.
Thank you so much. And Lisa said, it's not a diet, but it's a lifestyle, really. And I have to agree with that. It's
Totally.
something you do. It's, becoming a habit becomes a lifestyle. And if you don't live what works for you, jumping makes you gain back double. Oh no, I know. Not
Yes.
me. It's not the case. But yes, I know that when you're jumping here and there, you might lose a little bit of weight, gain a little bit of muscle. But when you stop, you actually gain much more weight back. So
Yes.
I'm loving what you're saying, about being systematic, having a strategy and following that, not just for a week or a month or two, but it's really introducing in and to become a lifestyle. Really.
Yes.
So
Exactly. Yes. Thank you, Lisa, for that. That's awesome. Yeah.
thank you. What are a few key pieces of advice what you would give people who are wanting to achieve their fitter self? And I'm asking you before because I'm aware of the times. We are almost at the end. So you guys, if you have any questions, still just put them in the comments, or if you would love to add something, And hi, Stefania. Nice to see you. Hi, Zoe.
Oh, hi, Stephanie. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, more people joining.
So what would a few pieces of real advice for those really who said, okay, I'm gonna contact Clarice and she's gonna make me look awesome.
Fierce, fierce, fierce.
Fierce,
We're gonna go
exactly.
fierce. Yeah. So a few key pieces of advice. Again, similar concepts throughout this entire live. I feel like I repeat a lot of same things, but because
That's
I feel
okay.
like
I love
principles,
that.
yeah, because I feel like principles are few, methods are many, but principles need to stay the same. And one of the things that I often talk about is like at the beginning of our interview, I said you need to know what your goals are. So clarity, and you speak about this a lot.
Yeah.
Clarity. You must have clarity on what your goals are. What are you trying to achieve? Are you trying to build muscle? Are you trying to look like a bikini competitor? Are you trying to, maybe you want to do a certain goal of, one of my clients wanted to be able to ski down the hill with her kids, called the Black Diamond, and it was one of her goals. And so, what are your goals? Her goals was never about needing to look like a competitor. So I trained her in a way where she had the ability to ski with her 4 kids down the hill. So clarity is important. You must define your goal. Number 2 is you need to find someone who can help you create the blueprint. Blueprint is the next thing. And why I say you have to find someone who can help you create the blueprint to get there is because if you've never gotten to the other side, one of my mentor often says this, is if you're walking through a landmine, you're walking through a landmine, do you want to walk through the landmine by yourself, or you want to follow the person who got to the other side safely? And most likely you want to follow the person who got to the other side safely because you don't want to blow off a limb. And so it's like you need a blueprint to know how to navigate it, but to actually find someone who's done it before, who has the results to help you learn through their experience. Because experience is the key, right? Like, it's like, because if we've gone through it, we know what are the ins and outs and what you have to avoid. You're going to have an easier way of getting there, but if you don't follow someone who's gotten there, but let's just say you have the blueprint, the map, and you walk through that landmine, you're like, okay, follow this map, no left, right, in a boom, right? Like, do you know what I mean? And that's what happens to a lot of people. They blow themselves up or blow themselves out of the process of like, wait, like they're like, I give up, I can't do this. Or I hear so many times women say, I'm just too old. I don't know if I can do it. And to me, I'm like, no, you're not too old. You can. You just need to find the right people to help you. And so that's the second thing.
It's just a number.
Sorry, what was that? What was that?
I'm sorry for cutting. I was like, age is just a number, right?
Yes,
So
age is just a number. Totally, totally. And the third thing I would say is having common, like, checkpoints where you can review and evaluate your progress, right? Because to become your fiercest self, like, you need to have clarity on your goal. You need to have blueprint and the person to help you with the goal. But along the way, you must evaluate what you're doing and review it constantly. Because if you don't review it constantly, then you can't make the right navigations through it, which comes back to the Fierce DNA, because you do need to track to understand how to navigate and have those common review points and common checkpoints, right? I find a lot of people don't commonly review what's going on. They just go by, again, their feelings. And the last one you're gonna love. This is the one that you're like, yes, Clarice. The last advice I will give is the truest part of your success. Yes, you can learn macros and workouts and have a good coach, is don't forget mindset, because mindset is the foundation for lifelong health and wellness. Lisa Pelter, if you're on here, I know she's been working with me for months on transformation program and muscle accelerator, but we work so much on mindset because you know what? I'm in the fitness industry. I've seen tons of fit people competing and all of that. But you know what a lot of them that still get taken out is because of mindset, and that they neglect, they want to look incredible, and they do have amazing physiques, they have amazing things, their skill set level in fitness is absolutely through the like off the charts. But if they do not monitor this is where it's all going to go downhill, you know? And I'm sure you know David Goggins. Yes, David Goggins, one of the most respected. Obviously, he's an ultra marathon runner, and he's you know, the only person to go through like the Ranger trainings in the States, and he's like super hardcore, right? But one of the things he always talks about is your mindset. Is like you cannot let that go, because there's something he said once that I love. He's like, when your mind is ready to give up, your body still has about, I think he said, and don't quote me on this, like 30% more to go or 40% more to go. And that's what he's saying, is that you must control your mindset in order to have the success you want in life. And the ones who make it the furthest, and obviously I've been coaching for many years, the ones who sustain the fiercest physiques, the fiercest mentality, are the ones who are cautious of this mindset, and they don't let that take over. They don't push that aside as any less important than the other elements that I talked about. So those would be my key advice.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much for this really clarity, blueprint, mindset. Because we were talking today, you know, you were talking about, you know, really mindset. And we said that first, it's
Yes,
you.
clarity.
Yeah.
Have
So you have to know your goals. What would you love to achieve? Where would you like to go? And then when you are in the right mindset, you know, you are overcoming, let's put this way, the fear and the limiting beliefs, and that, oh, I'm not going to do that, or I'm not able to do that, or to have that body. Then if you overcome that, really you really can have the body, as you said, of the model on any cover of the magazine. So it's just, you know, be consistent, never ever give up, never give up on yourself. Really, that's very important, one of the most important things. And I said 80% mindset, 20% body. So guys, if you resonate, and I'm sure a lot of you will resonate with Clarice, join her community, which is really, really fast going. I think that 9,000 more right now.
we're about 8.5 thousand. So it's good.
Wow.
It's going to go into 9,000 soon. We
So
project that.
congratulations for that. That's a really, really amazing, and in a really, really short period of time. I mean, 1.5 years approximately. We are an amazing coach, an amazing, not just fitness coach, but really success and mindset coach. Your
Thank you.
guys are lucky to have you. I'm lucky for having you today with me. You shared a lot of really valuable information. So guys, please reach out to Clarice if you feel so. I'm sure that she will be able to help you to work out, you know, a program for you. Thank you
Yes.
so much,
Awesome.
Clarice. Thank
Thank
you
you for
guys for watching.
Thank you for having me, and it's awesome to share and just help people learn. Like a lot of things I spoke about, I just hope it will help them, you know, have more clarity for themselves, stop jumping around, and maybe not make some of the common mistakes that I talk about, right? And yeah, I see a lot of the women here that I coach, like Joanne. I've been with her a long time. She said mindset is so
So,
important.
oh yes, I think.
Yeah, she knows that for sure. So yeah, so thank you for having me, Christina.
Thank you very much. And I see you guys next week. Until then, I'm sending you lots of love and light. Bye, guys.
Bye.